Hi, my name is Monica, and I am the founder and CEO of the Universal Women's Network, and this is the Peer-to-Peer Jam and Role Model Talk. This is an opportunity for youth to start their leadership journey early, to build trusted relationships, set goals, build healthy relationships, and learn from leadership wisdom from role models. So today is a very special day. We have our 2022 Woman of Inspiration Black Leader, MPP Patrice Barnes, and today interviewing Patrice is Olivia Day, our 2021 Woman of Inspiration Youth Excellence and UWN Youth Leader. So Olivia, as you know, this is the time that I fade into the background and I turn the baton over to you, take over the show. So enjoy this fantastic interview today, ladies.
Thank you.
Perfect. So Patrice was born in Jamaica and immigrated to Canada when she was just 18. For more than a decade, Patrice worked in event management for both profit and for non-for-profit organizations. Today, she is proud to represent the Ajax community on the Durham District School Board as a public school trustee, a position she has held for nearly a decade since she was first elected in 2014. During her time on the board, she has served in several roles, such as vice chair of the board, chair of Education Finance Committee, and the Special Education Committee. And today she serves as the co-chair of the Diversity Committee. Passionate about inclusive education and improving learning outcomes for students and families who experience marginalization, she has participated in the DDSB poverty strategy and continues to champion high expectations for all students. Patrice has been integral in creating and advocating for innovative programs such as Cypher Program for Black boys and the Empower Her Conference for Black girls. So with all that, you can see why she's the perfect fit today. MPP Minister Barnes, it's now your turn to take the stage.
Thank you, Olivia. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. I have to talk a little bit about some of the things that we've done. When we first did the bio, we had the trustee portion. So now we need to add that I am MPP for Ajax, the first Black female Deputy Speaker of the House of Parliament.
Well, that is quite the accomplishment, I'll tell you that right now. So after reading that bio, I can see why you are the perfect fit for today. And my first question follows along with that, because your career is phenomenal. Like I've done a lot of this, I've read a lot of them, and I've not seen anything like it. So what was the largest hurdle you found within your career?
I think really sort of believing in yourself, right? Because sometimes you plan for the next steps, but unless you really sort of believe in what you want to do, it can be a hurdle because it takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of energy. And if you don't have a belief in that goal of accomplishing that, it can be a substantial hurdle. As well, for me, being in politics, the balance of family and public life is also a significant hurdle in regards to holding this position.
Yeah, I can imagine that being a little bit of a barrier of sorts. So to follow up on that, why did you decide to do politics? Was it aptitude or was it self-driven for a change?
Well, and when I get asked that question, I say politics kind of chose me. I didn't choose politics. I didn't really dream of being a politician. It was really coming across a problem that I wanted to solve and not finding anybody that could help me to solve it or willing to solve it. And so I decided, well, if you won't do it, then I'll do it myself. And so I ran and I won, and I got a chance to really be able to serve people.
That's awesome. You know, be the change you want to see in the world. And you took that very much to heart and dedicated quite a lot of time to it. So having worked on a school board, what would be your advice for youth not knowing what to do after high school?
You know, I think youth often put such hard stress on themselves, right? I would say to them, don't be so hard on yourself. It sometimes takes years to find out exactly what you want to do or what is perfect for you. And sometimes that takes a number of different changes. It takes, you know, being open to opportunities. It takes trying things that you might not have tried before. And so that's what I say. Just roll with the flow, but be open to really trying things and taking part in opportunities that come available.
It's crucial to take those because, I mean, you know it, making those connections and building a network is very key to anyone's career and just starting out as well. So what was the best advice for education specifically that you gave to the school board?
Well, I would say, and you probably know this, being an athlete yourself, Olivia, is that, you know, a teacher can guide you, a teacher can inspire you, but you have to have that self-motivation to really know what you want to accomplish and how to get there, right? Because if not, people can distract you from your goals, they can distract you from your dreams, they can really derail where you want to be. And so I'm sure you've come across that, where, you know, you have to push through things, right? Because you know what you wanted to do, and so you stuck to it. And so that would be my guideline. You know, you don't depend on teachers or others to really inspire you to do what you want to do.
Yeah. And I'm sure you'll notice the quality of work, the difference when it's driven by the kid versus driven by an external factor, such
Exactly.
as the teacher or the parents, because it's up to you. You're responsible for your learning, as much as it sucks to hear.
Exactly.
So, knowing you're a busy woman, if you were to have an allotted amount of time when nothing could get in the way, would you do any self-development? And if you would, what would it be?
Being in the role that I am and meeting so many people, I'd want to develop superhuman memory.
I can see why.
Right? You meet so many people and you hear so many stories, and there's so much that you have to know that, you know, I think if I could do that, that would be one of the things that I would definitely do.
I completely get that. I mean, I can remember names off the back of my hand, but if I have to put a face to it, we're done. Game over.
Definitely. I think I'd like to increase my languages as well. I think I have a love for language, even if I don't necessarily have the time to do it. That is one of the things as well.
I'm with you on that one. I'm currently studying French and Japanese. What about you?
Ah, I love that. How do you find Japanese?
I find it something different, you know.
Yeah.
But funnily enough, I'd say the coolest thing I found while learning it is that whatever I learn in Japanese translates to French in my head before it translates to English.
Oh, okay.
And I asked one of my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I asked one of my friends who's studying linguistics, and she says it's due to the fact that the way the language is structured and the sentence structure is similar to that of French's.
Oh, see, so
Fact
much
of the
right?
day. Yeah.
See, you've taught me something today. See, anybody can learn from anybody, right?
Oh, it's so true.
Yeah.
So true. What languages do you like to learn?
I've always wanted to learn Mandarin, but French for sure, because of, you know, being in Canada, it's very important. But I find the language interesting, Mandarin.
Yes, and there's a lot of opportunities that are with it. I'll tell you that now.
Yeah.
Very crucial language to learn if you were to learn any. So
I didn't think about Japanese, but now I have to sort of pay a little bit of attention to that as well. Who knows?
well, Japanese is rooted in Old Mandarin. There is a connection between the two.
Okay.
Learn one and you'll learn the other.
Okay. So there's hope yet.
There is hope. There is. So you said you don't always recognize faces. Whenever you have that little internal panic, which most of us do, of, oh my gosh, I'm supposed to know this person, how do I do it? How do you keep confidence within yourself in your position?
I'm always honest with people. I try to be, I'll apologize first. I will ask for prompts for memory, and sometimes I don't necessarily will remember the person's name, but I will remember the faces, and over time I'll remember where I've met them. So So I try not to panic. Sometimes I deep breathe inside. But it's, confidence, the more knowledge you gain in a situation, the more confidence you have, right? But I think too, as you get sort of comfortable with yourself and sort of accepting of your faults and, all your dents and all your shiny places, I think you kind of you get a little bit more confident. You know that mistakes are a path of growth, and success is not deemed by just this moment, but it is a journey. So, it is, you get a little bit more confident. I won't say I don't have panic days. I will not say that, but
But it's about self-awareness and self-value, you could say.
yes, yeah.
So living in a very public role, is there anything you do on the side that the viewers and the public might not be aware about?
Oh, in my quiet place, I like to try recipes. I like to bake.
I'm with you on that one. I'll tell you what, I found the best chocolate chip cookie. As basic as it is, it's the little things in life.
Little
And that
things
is chocolate chips.
Yes, with a little caramel.
Oh, I'll try that. You'll have to send me the recipe. I'm interested now. So before going into office, and you're now in a position that inspires others like myself and the kids that you've interacted with through the numerous programs you're on, who inspired you first?
I think I get my inspiration really from everyday things. I think sometimes we get caught up in just people that are famous or are celebrities that inspire you, but you inspire me. You inspire me, that the fact that you're an athlete, you've taken the time, and something is happening, you've taken some time back to sort of regroup and come again. That's inspirational, right? Because you've not discounted yourself. You've just said, you know what, I need to rethink and come again, right? Meeting somebody on the street that is just happy and joyous and just happy to share that smile with you. And I don't necessarily know if they're what financial position they might be in or how they are, but the fact that they're happy and joyous, and sometimes that makes such a difference in a person's day. A mom that's raising her children by herself, but get up and go to work every day, but put little notes in their lunch kits, because it's just part of love and inspiring them to have great days, right? So I think I get inspired by things, just looking at some of the simplest things, right? You're waking up and the sun is out and it's shining, and those things are very inspirational for me.
So true, and it really is crucial. It truly is, because they might not be having a good day, but by them making that proactive choice to try and make someone's better,
yeah,
it makes all the difference. It
does.
really does. So talking about inspiration, is there a quote or a mantra that you like to stick by?
Dr. Jemison says, do not let other people's limited imagination limit you.
Ooh, I like that one. I like that one.
Right? So you meet sometimes people that tell you that you can't or cannot see your vision, but it shouldn't be something that you define yourself by, right? Their limit should not be your limit.
Yeah, that's very true. And for my final question here, how do you deal with the perception of others around you? And how do you try and exhibit kindness towards them?
I think it comes back to some of the things that we talked about, sort of knowing you, being true to you, stick to your values and your integrity, right? And when you're sort of grounded in your integrity and your values, you can sort of filter. You can filter what really affects you or inspires you, or how you see people around you, right? So I think that is one of the things that I try to do all the time. I always try to look at things through a lens of value and integrity.
Yeah, and I mean, sticking to your values is something I've been working on, because personally, I've seen a huge difference between before. You know, you're a little bit more guided. You can see how they relate to your goals a little more. It's not just like, I want to be the best person. It's how will, let's say, discipline help me become the best person.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about believing in yourself, like you said earlier in the interview, having confidence and picking and choosing when to admit you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, that's hard. That's hard to admit, right? But that is a very good trait to be able to say, you know what, I don't know. And not a lot of people say that. Not a lot of people can say, I don't know.
Honesty is a hard one.
It is.
And especially in a world where so much is expected of you from such a young age, admitting you don't know something, which you've been conditioned through education to always know, is hard.
It is. It truly is.
And I feel like it's key to what I call the adult world, and it should be key within, let's say, the curriculum in schools, because it's not taught.
It's true. It's not taught. We are missing a lot. We are.
Yeah.
We are.
So with that concludes our interview with the lovely MPP Barnes.
Thank you so much, Olivia. It was such a pleasure to meet you.
Lovely to meet you too.
Take care.
Take care.
And I'm just going to jump right in and say, I'm sitting in the background. I made lots of notes. I'm always super inspired by listening to the conversations. Now, for those that are listening or watching, Olivia and Patrice, this is the first time that they're meeting. And if you're not used to moderating conversations or talks, to have things go so smooth and carefree, I've just got to say this was very impressive. And, you know, I really loved the, you know, we talk about the age and the barriers for age and the wisdom that's shared. I mean, and the commonalities, even like common interests of baking and sharing. I'll take that recipe, Patrice. You know, like it's really interesting that, you know, if we remove some of the barriers, there's a lot of commonalities between people in general. So I want to ask a question, and maybe we can talk about this for just a couple minutes. And I think it's a real pain point with young women, and actually imposter syndrome for women, for you and I, Patrice, but confidence. And so we touched on that just a little bit. February is, you know, the bully prevention month. And I think confidence plays a big role in that. So Patrice, what are some sort of tips that you might have that you've learned that you might pass on to our future generation, how to build confidence to really stand up to those bullies?
Well, I would start by saying oftentimes the people that bullies are missing something. And oftentimes the people that target you because they see something in you that they want, and they don't have it. And so for those people that are being bullied, I want you to sort of stop and think, you know, look at yourself and think of how to grow yourself and continue to be the best person that you can be. But, you know, just say enough is enough. I stop, right? And I know it's not easy for the person that's being bullied, and being bullied leaves such long-term trauma for a lot of kids. But definitely reach out to somebody, definitely ask for help, definitely get, you know, somebody that can support you through that issue of being bullied.
And what about the online piece now being so public? I mean, have you witnessed that in your field? Because that is something, you know, that prevents women from running in public office.
It really has. It's something that I've really had to really think about a lot, because it does. You do get bullied online. You get people that it's easy to say whatever they want to say because they're behind the keyboard. They probably wouldn't say to you in front of your face. people that critique what you wear, how you look, that they wouldn't do to your male counterpart. And so at some point, like I said to Olivia, at some point you just gotta sort of find your comfort piece and just sort of create a relevance, right? Are these people really relevant to you, right?
And Olivia, would you like to add anything to that? I know that we've had lots of conversations about the confidence piece and about, you know, how to say, you know, stop the bullies and lead by example. So what, if anything, would you like to add?
I think what Patrice said is very clear. You know, I live in a generation where we've all had Instagram from age 9, because growing up in the athletic world, it's how you get in contact with sponsors, how you get in contact with coaches, and how you get where you need to be. You have to network. And occasionally keyboard warriors come up and they tell you what you're doing is wrong. So you've got to power through it, like Patrice said.
That is so mature. And you just opened up a whole new conversation here for another day. Like, I had no idea that it was like from 9, essentially 9, and that's your networking.
Yes.
Right?
It's like your job now. That's your, yeah.
Oh,
I really encourage, pardon me?
Oh, it is. I was replying to Patrice. It's full time trying to manage so many different socials and what to post and what not to post.
I'm a very large advocate for the LinkedIn profile. And even you have a LinkedIn profile now. Have we got that set up yet?
Not really. No, sorry.
Those sponsors are on LinkedIn, I have to say. Anyways,
I need to get on that.
Anyways, that's another platform, another conversation to sort of leverage your voice. But yes, the online opens everything up, and it's okay to block people. It's really okay to say no. You're not welcome to this party, but it's a lot easier for people to gain access to you. And so you have to wear that armor and shield and just be self-aware and pull those people in that can help and support you. So yeah, we have many more conversations to come in that area, but I find that platforms such as this, where we can invite engaging role models who are willing to, you know, speak openly and honestly about, you know, the panic attacks and, you know, the fear of sometimes not remembering names, you know, and people in positions of power. That is really empowering everybody else, I have to say, Patrice, because when you're a young person, you know, it's really hard to think that, you know, you have to know everything. And it just really does give the power back to the people. So thank you, Patrice, for joining us today. It has been an absolute pleasure. I look forward to our conversation. And Olivia, wonderful job again. I look forward to the next peer-to-peer jam and role model talk. I hope you'll join us next time.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.